We are into our first week of hurricane season, and officials in Horry County want to make sure that they are ready. That's in tonight's Guide to Survive. The Horry County Emergency Operations Center was in full activation today. During a hurricane, the planning, logistics, and communication all comes from here. Everyone reports to Emergency Management Director Randy Webster, who heads this operation to maintain control.
That's one big lesson I think was learned after Katrina, especially on the federal level. You know, if the local people do not take control of it, then somebody's going to have to. We will take control of it on the local level.
Emergency management monitored the evacuation lane reversal exercise today from that center. Webster says a complete hurricane evacuation of the Grand Strand would take about 18 hours.
Police in Florence County say a tip helped them solve a break-in that happened a couple years ago. They've now charged Alton Reeves with accessory after the fact of a felony. They say back in 2006, he broke into a home on West Cummings Road and stole $20,000. Deputies tell us Lakey Johnson, Perlina Johnson, and Retha Johnson were also in on that break-in. We're told they used the money to buy jewelry and for a down payment on a car. All four tonight charged with accessory after the fact of a felony. Reeves also faces a burglary charge from last year in that very same community.
We have new information in tonight on a story we have followed for months now. Back in January, a Conway pastor was jailed in Russia after he was accused of smuggling ammunition. In April, a judge there found Philip Miles guilty and sentenced him to 3 years in prison. On May 5th, Miles' attorney filed an appeal. That process takes a minimum of 30 days in Russia, and that means a date could be decided to hear that appeal soon. Miles leads Christ Community Church in Conway. He says the box of ammunition was a gift for a friend. He declared it as he left the United States, but did not redeclare it when he got to Russia. Pastor Miles recently sent a letter to his congregation and says he appreciates the prayers and he hopes to see everyone soon. Voters in Marlboro County will get a double dose of the polls this month. Next Tuesday, they'll vote in the primaries, and 2 weeks after that, they'll also cast ballots on a referendum that concerns a proposed mega dump. News Channel 15's Tonya Brown has been digging into what the referendum is all about. Joins us now live from our Florence newsroom. Tonya, what'd you find out?
Allyson, I found out the referendum is non-binding, and it's more of a public opinion poll to see how residents feel about the proposed mega dump. Now, it's the subject of much heated debate in Marlboro County. There are a lot of signs opposing it. 4 council members told me they wanted to hold the referendum to gauge public opinion. Tom Wood is a part of a group of citizens who are upset because the referendum is non-binding. They question why council would spend $9,000 to hold what they call a meaningless referendum.
This is taxpayers' money that we should be putting to a different cause. Certainly we have school buildings and so forth and other things in this county that would use that $10,000 to a better measure than a referendum, which I feel absolutely means nothing.
Council members tell me state law prohibits them as a council from holding a binding referendum. They say they can ask voters if they want to keep a business out of the community. Even though it's non-binding, council officials tell me they will take voters, or what voters have to say, into consideration. Now, as for the cost, election officials tell me if the question would have gone on next Tuesday's ballot, it wouldn't cost them any more money. But because that deadline was missed, they now have to pay for postage, printing, and poll workers. Allyson.
All right, Tonya Brown, thank you very much. And that referendum once again takes place on June 24th.
Well, tonight there is a new law in place aimed at discouraging illegal immigration here in South Carolina. Governor Mark Sanford signed that bill today, ending months of debate between the House and the Senate. The measure will eventually require all public and private employers to make sure that their workers are in the country legally. Public contractors must begin verifying their new hires by next January. All other businesses must follow suit by July 2010.
A new report shows South Carolina's high school graduation rate has improved slightly in 5 years, but remains among the nation's worst. According to the education research group Diplomas Count, 56% of seniors graduated from high school on time with a regular diploma back in 2005. That's compared to a national average of 71%. But that 56% is up from 51% in 2001. The report released Wednesday puts South Carolina's on-time graduation rate as 4th worst in the nation. Only Louisiana, New Mexico, and Nevada rank lower.
This is News Channel 15 at 6 with Allyson, Floyd, Jim Heath, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski, and Sports Director Rich Chrampanis. coming up next.
Tonight, an early challenge from Senator John McCain to his presumed Democratic rival, Barack Obama.
And a big debate coming up here in our studios in about an hour. We'll tell you which candidates are debating live when we come back.